All right, test one, test two, test one, test two. This is Mind of a B.M.C. and this is run number one, and I hope this goes well. Hey everybody, this is Lance here, Mind of a B.M.C. Now you notice something a little bit different today. I'm actually trying to make a template, so I know it looks like so 2009. I want to apologize for that in advance. So keep that in mind. It's still a work in progress, so bear with me. Now, folks, I'm late to the party because I had a day off. But as you can see here, this is what everybody's been talking about the last couple of days. This is Barack Obama. Now, as you can see, I used the ABC News video. Now, he is getting hammered by all sides right now in this video about what's going on with the Kamala Harris campaign. Now, we're going to do a little watch along, and I'm going to talk about this. Now, we're going to I queued this up already. We're going to break this down step by step. So what we're going to do is, I'm running dual monitors, so I got to look over here. Wait, over here. Get my cameras reversed. And we're going to start this right now, and let's just see what he says.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind. Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running.
Okay, let's start there. Now, Mr. Obama, you are a great oracle of words, a savant, if you will. You know how to speak. Let's start there because, let's get real, Harris is a very, very, very poor speaker. And people, they're just not into her. You got to understand that. And there's a lot more to go into that, but we're going to continue.
Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly.
Okay, now this is going to be interesting, but I'm going to take a very different take than a lot of people did, but we're going to continue.
And say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences.
Okay, now before I continue, I'm going to say this right now. It's pretty evident that Harris did not grow up with us, in this case with these referring to black males. Now, it is 100% true she was born in Oakland. Let's get that out of the way. That is 100% true. But everything I've seen, she grew up the ultra upper middle class life, not in California, but in Montreal. Now, this is not a dig at our Francophone friends. Keep that in mind. But she did not grow up like us. But let's continue.
Just had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land, and is putting forward concrete proposals.
Okay, I'm going to stop it here. A couple of things. If you believe Judge Joe Brown, and I'd suggest people watch that video and let you decide for yourself. I don't, from that point, from that side alone, Judge Joe Brown has no reason to lie. Now, the other part Obama's talking about is, you have to remember when then candidate Joe Biden was deciding his vice president, he outright said publicly it'd be a woman of color. And at the time was Kamala Harris, who didn't win the Iowa primary, and Stacey Abrams. And let me tell you something, and I'm not the only person to say this, he picked Harris over Abrams because the DNC knew that Abrams would lose the black male vote. Now, I don't know where he's getting this, but let's continue.
To directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine.
Okay, two things here. Now, in her defense, this is one of those policy things she did throw out there. And I'm one of those political wonks to where throw a policy idea out there. I'm all ears. But that $25,000 credit? Come on. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, that let's say it gets passed. Do you really think that sellers is going to keep their price? No, they're going to raise it $25,000 because they know you have another $25,000, number one. And number two is the one thing that nobody else talks about. If you live in a community with property taxes, and most of the places do, when they do the reassessment, they're going to raise it $25,000. So basically, it's a double tax. Number one, the tax on the more because you're paying more, and number two, on the local tax assessment itself. Now, far as medicine, that remains to be seen. So, I'm one of those people to where if you want to go after Big Pharma, I will stand with you brothers in arms, regardless of political stance. But that part has remained to be seen. But let's continue.
And making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act. So everybody's got health care and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person.
Okay, Mr. Obama, now before we continue, please give us some examples, at least how he disrespected the black community. Because I'm very, very, very curious. Now, I like the cat that's standing pretty much directly behind him in the gray pants and the tan sports coat. He's giving the Obama the "Who are you?" look. I'm actually enjoying that.
And you're thinking about sitting out?
Now, Mr. Obama, understand something. There are a lot of people that are thinking about sitting out this one. And a lot is because of your side's doing. Let's call it for what it is. Yes, I know a lot of people don't like Trump for whatever reason. I get it. But your side is doing nobody no favors.
But, because of Putin. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. Because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
Okay, Mr. Obama, you are dead wrong. And let me explain. And I'm not even talking about the DEI hire. I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying this as a black male. Forget political stance, anything like that. It's not the fact we don't want a woman or even a woman of color. Somebody like me who actually follows politics very religiously for the most part, I see straight through that woman. And Obama, I know damn well you know this. So why even play that off? Well, actually, I know why you're playing off. You're right in front of the cameras. People see straight through that woman and see how fake she is. There's even a question to where how much of a chameleon she is. One day she says she's Indian. Another day she says she's black. Another day she says she's Jamaican. Well, what is it? Because let me tell you something. Black culture is not a monolith. You know this. This is how you got elected in the first place. So why even go down that road? But we're going to continue here.
And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time.
Okay. You have to understand something. This is not the black culture of the 1950s, 60s, or even 70s. You know, black men are fed up. Not with women. Let's get that totally out of the way right now. They're fed up of the system and they're starting to think for themselves. At least far as, the political side. So trying to shame people into that is not going to work. I'll tell you what. Here's my phone right now. If you're watching this, come to my apartment. I will let you call your wife and I will tell her why I'm not going to go down that road. I have no issue with that. But we're going to continue here because he's going to start playing the shame and blame game.
They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting.
You don't understand the black American culture right now. Yes, you do have that segment that still will. But let's be honest here. 70% is a bad one. Probably 60% of women, let's say for instance, I got thrown in a slam. Now my wife will back me as long as legit reasons, but a lot of these black women now will hang a black male out to dry in a New York second. And I know full well you know this. So why even go down this road?
And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you?
History, okay. Given Trump's political record, personal track record, not political, personal, outside of the New York 5, which I don't know, that was such a long time ago. I've heard so many conflicting stories, I'd throw that out. If Trump is such a racist, why was all these black people in the 80s and 90s around him? Even better question. Let's talk about the hip-hop culture. And let's be honest, the hip-hop culture pretty much praised Trump. And the only other person I can think of that they gave him so much props and so much airtime was actually Ric Flair, of all people. But that aside, if you want to go down that road of black men supporting Trump, how about the modern hip-hop culture? Because, hey, it's out there. Go look and hear for yourself.
Because you think that's a sign of strength? Because that's what being a man is? Putting women down? That's not acceptable.
And no man is putting no woman down in this situation. Now, Obama, cut your BS. You're trying to shame people into your position. And black men in general is sick and tired. As a matter of fact, independence, regardless of race political stance, is sick and tired of it. So why even say that? You don't control what people think.
That's not it. This shouldn't even be a question.
Sorry about that. I forgot the video ended there. So we're looking at this video here. There's a reason why people are tearing you apart right now, Obama. You know this. Why even go do this? Now, I get it. You got to toe the D.M.C. line. I get it. You know, but there's a reason why people up and down the line is tearing this video apart. You mean to tell me that, and I hate to say this, you're acting, let me rephrase this, on behalf of the Democratic National Committee, you honestly think that black men that voting for Trump is too stupid? And I wish, now granted you were at a campaign stop, I want you to go out in public and say the exact same thing you said. And I want you to get hammered in real time, streaming, so there's no questions. This is why black men, in my opinion, are pissed off right now. Not even pissed off, but disappointed. I apologize, Chloe, my black cat just walked past me. It just boggles my mind. And people like you and people wonder what's going on. Well, you know, I just wanted to get on here and do this video. I know it's a little on the long side for me, but let me know in the comments. Am I right? Am I wrong? Should I have been more angry, a little more nice? I'm just curious. Well, folks, I'm going to get off here because I know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to stay PG with this, and I promise myself that. But I'm going to get off here. Let me know. Like, share, subscribe, all the good things. And this is Lance, mind of a B.M.C.